I have returned. It is the Saint. We are here for another week of the Wrestling Wire. So we're gonna go ahead and take this time real quick to get some videos out of the way and run them. So here we go.
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready, I'ma blow up. Yeah. Yeah, now I'm ready, I'ma blow up.
All right, there we have it, folks. You've got Pro Wrestling Union's Explosion YouTube series coming back. I really can't wait to see it. And the man that was in that video package, Chase Emery, was also on AEW Dark Elevation earlier this week. If you haven't seen it, the only negative drawback here was that Excalibur or Taz or both of them messed up his name. Beyond that, badass. Just a great showing for a very talented young man. Speaking of, let's go ahead and get him in here right now. Welcome to the show, Chase. How you doing, brother?
Man, thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem, dude. So that video package,
Yeah,
like I said, it would have been better if it had showed you holding the strap because this is your current Pro Wrestling Union heavyweight champion.
it just showed me getting beat up, didn't it?
Oh, you know.
That's a little
No,
biased.
it showed you walking tall, man.
Yeah,
Showed you walking tall, walking out the ring.
that's a good intro video. You know, it looks high quality.
Man, you know the crew that made it, so do I. We work with them all the time. But so, man, AEW Dark Elevation. So go ahead, man, lay it out. How'd that go?
Yeah, so I mean, it was a great experience. I went to one of the darks that are before the Dynamites, so it's not like I was at the studio. So a lot of the stars that were on the Dynamites and the Rampage, you know, got to be in the locker room with them. Cool experience being around stars like that. You know, I want to be up there one day, you know, so be able to get that experience now, you know, it's just going to help me in the long run to get up there one day.
Right. And I mean, you're a young kid. You've got a lot of room to work, especially within that age bracket. And as talented as you are at your age is an anomaly, you know.
Yeah.
Man, like I said when we were sitting in the room chilling before this started, if I was Vince or I was Tony, the match between you and Landon would have been something I would have paid to put on air. No problem, no questions asked. And that's the great thing about Pro Wrestling Union is a lot of the matches are of that caliber and quality. Some of them may go to Scott D'Amore and Impact. Some of them may go to Ring of Honor. But the overall perception, hell, some of them could be featured in NWA. It's just the layout of the land and how the show's produced and booked. But when you put you and Landon Hale together, you and Randy Wayne as well, man, that
was hard hitting.
Dude, Randy's just rough, dude. I think the world of Randy Wayne's just he's a good, solid dude. Everybody in the locker room for the most part is cool as hell. Yeah, I like talking with you and Vanderford, man, your manager.
Yeah, good
I
dude.
haven't seen or spoke with him in a while. I sent him a message a couple of weeks back, but I never did hear from him. So next time you get a chance, smack him around a little bit. Hey, man.
Yeah, I'll probably see him this Friday. We're going to be at APW Chester in Chester, South Carolina.
Okay, so you're going to be working Chester, South
We'll be
Carolina.
wrestling down there.
Gotcha. Who are you going against?
I'm not sure yet. They haven't announced it. They'll
Gotcha.
probably be announced in a couple days.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I saw the APW Chester ad earlier. I believe it was Daddy Daughter Dance was featured on the.
Yeah, and then John Schuyler from Impact Wrestling. He's gonna be there too.
Oh, nice, badass. That's really cool. Yet again, getting to work with people who've been to the dance, and hell, you've been to the dance. So you say you interacted with a lot of people backstage. Did anybody give you any tips, tricks, pointers, anything like that?
That is kind of one of my not really a complaint, just kind of wish there'd been more of after the match, people like, giving me more tips. I asked some people and they were just like, oh, I saw a little bit of it, but it was good type stuff. It was short, so I understand, some people might have saw glimpses of it, but
I mean,
it's fine though.
I honestly didn't think it was that short. They gave you a pretty good amount of TV time. At least, well, YouTube TV time, we'll call it that. And I enjoyed seeing how they laid it all out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So with your match, you guys went up against a team that's been doing it for a while, and they've also been under the tutelage of Matt Hardy. So my main complaint against Dark and Dark Elevation, because I know what I'm looking at from this chair, is that they use it more so to fluff the numbers of the win-loss records of the guys that are featured on TV.
Yeah.
And I get that, but at the same time, what are they doing? Are they just pulling independent talent randomly? Is that how they do their booking, or do they have
I know
ideas?
They used to use a lot of the guys that trained at the Nightmare Factory.
Okay.
But to bring them up to do the dark matches, but what I hear is they don't want to mess those guys' records up or something like that. I don't really know the whole story, but what they're doing is they're using a lot of when they come they did they were running in North Carolina for a little bit. They did Bojangles Coliseum, Greensboro Coliseum, and then PNC Arena. That was the one I was at. So they got a bunch of local talent, from the area, and brought them to do darks.
Gotcha. Well, we've had a couple of people say hello to you. Tiffany Childers has popped in saying, "Hey, Chase."
What's up, Tiffany?
The Childers are something local, so I think they run around in the independent circuit and kind of hit up a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
We got our man Wesley jumping in from Norfolk, Virginia. He was in last week and chimed in a bunch. He had a bunch of great points to add to the conversation. Yeah. We had Scott Larson from #Truth. We had Chris and Harry from the Straight Up Wrestling Show. They were on, and the four of us ended up in here having a breakdown. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the episode I watched last week.
Oh, nice. And then there's the man himself, Scott Larson, chimed in. What's up, Chase? He said, "I'm jealous."
What's up,
man?
Scott?
All he's got to do is show up to the shows, and he'll hang out with you. Man. So, man, I'm not going to say I've watched you grow in this industry, because hell, I've only known you. Oh, there's the boss himself right here. Cole Mack. What's up, man?
What's up?
Is one of the top promoters in South Carolina. No joke. No joke. So there was there's been a couple of shows I've seen you at. I've seen you at his, and I've seen you with Pro Wrestling Union CPW, because there's that transitional period from A to B for those, and then there's his show. Man, I like the way you're handled. I like the way you're presented, and I like the way you're booked. So I mean, and your manager, dude, he does such great work. Man, he does such good work for you, dude. It's the total package in my book.
I think me and Vannifer, we're coming up on 1 year anniversary, the first time he ever managed me. I think it was January 30th of 21. That was the first time me and him ever were together in
Gotcha.
matches.
Now,
So coming up on that.
he sent me his resume.
Yeah.
And I read through this thing and I'm like, there's an encyclopedia of information here. This is going to take days. This is not going to be a one and done podcast. This is going to take days.
Right.
Or several different sessions broken up to get through his career in this industry. He's one of very few people that I want to have that broken down for. There's a couple of people who've been around for a long time that I'd like to do that with. We'll see if that ever pans out and how I get that to happen.
Yeah.
But either way, so who's your next challenger for the Pro Wrestling Union heavyweight title?
It's going to be in March, late March. I'm wrestling Colby Carino.
Holy shit, Colby Carino.
In NWA Colby Carino.
Exactly, and he's still in their tournament for their they got some tournament going on right now.
I believe he's still in.
Yeah, I do too. I haven't watched last night. Man, that's a lot of wrestling on TV.
Yeah, it is.
It is a lot. And then when you've got Scott jumping online and you've got Chris and them jumping online and you're trying to catch the podcast as well.
Yeah.
Dude, I listen to a bunch of this stuff driving now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From Spartanburg to Greenville and back daily. I mean, you got road time. So what else has been going on, man? How's training going? Who were you originally trained by?
So I originally, when I first started, I started out in Lincoln, North Carolina. Okay. This was late 2019, and a guy named Chad Scott. He does a little bit now, but I started out training with him for a few months, and then when the pandemic happened, he got really sick. So and he had COVID and got really sick. So I went and started training with Lodi, who wrestled in WCW in the late 90s.
Right.
And,
sign guy.
Yeah.
Sign guy Lodi, yeah. Ravens flock.
Lodi, he really helped me out and really polished me up. And I got to train with Arn Anderson's son, Brock. He was starting out kind of when I first started going there. So me and him were like sparring partners. You know, we always would wrestle at the end and stuff when we did matches. So me and him, and he, you know, and him and Arn are both signed to AEW right now. So like they both of them had a big role in my training. But yeah, Lodi, I've been training with him since early 2020. He's really helped me out. Man,
so Lodi and Brock went at it last night in Spartanburg at Big Time Wrestling at the Spartanburg Auditorium. Now, I didn't go. The Rona thing, and you're supposed to avoid as much as you can. It is what it is.
Right.
So I've just been trying to avoid everything like the plague. So somebody else brought up something else that happened last night. The elephant in the room, Rock and Roll Express versus FTR last night in Spartanburg. Yeah, that happened. Edge apparently was there. Adam Copeland came down from Tryon, and you had the one dude from the FTR is right there in Saluda. So I mean, he ain't but an hour from here. So they came down. They did their spot. Apparently, it was a great night and a sellout.
Oh, I heard there was over 1,000 people there.
Right, I heard it was close to 2,000.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's insane because a couple of years ago they couldn't. I heard they lost their ass 2 years ago.
Really?
But then again, that was like peak pandemic too. So who knows? I don't know. I wasn't there. I only go to a couple of shows locally. And you know, if I can catch the bigs when they're in town, I'll try to go catch them. But beyond that, so let's see here. Scott Larson says, "I'll see you this Saturday in Rutherford with Casey Fox." There you go. I saw some clips of her doing work too, man. I don't know who she is, but she seems like a badass. Yeah,
she wrestles a lot in North Carolina. I'm trying to get her to get her license in South Carolina, but she's a really good, women's wrestler. But yeah, me and her next weekend in Gilkey, North Carolina, for HWA, are going to be tagging against Caleb Crocker and his girl. I forgot her first name, Larkin. Have you heard of them?
Um,
Caleb Crocker.
I've heard of Caleb. I'm not all that versed in the indie scene, as you know. My predominant experience has been with you, and Pro Wrestling Union and CPW.
Yeah.
I've worked with his as you have as well, and CMW Evolution out of the Greenville area.
Okay.
Speaking of, while I'm stating that now, CMW Evolution had a show booked for Friday night.
Yeah.
They postponed it due to the weather. We
Okay.
had some weather. Now, I was driving around Friday night, so I was like, man, there really wasn't shit for weather, but okay, I get it. You want everybody to be safe, and it makes sense.
Right.
They rescheduled for February.
Okay.
Now, my problem is I'm already booked that day, so to anybody involved in CMW Evolution, it's definitely no hard feelings. I'm already booked. I'm booked for his, so I'm going to be at his pro wrestling, because there ain't but two things in this world I got: my word and my balls, and I don't break neither one of them for nobody. So, I mean, that's how I am, dude. If I made an agreement that I'm gonna be somewhere, I'm gonna be somewhere.
Absolutely. That's how it should.
When they rescheduled it, I immediately hit up, Ock, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, bro, but I can't make this. I've already got an agreement for that day.
Yeah.
The 8th, I think it's the 18th of February. I don't know if you're involved in that show or not, but hopefully.
I'm not sure. I've talked to the promoter a little bit. I might be there.
Yeah, Rollins. He's a good dude. I like Rollins.
Yeah.
That seems like another good quality show that is working the kinks out as they go.
Oh yeah.
So it seems like there's a couple of them here that are growing and getting good steam in Spartanburg. We got another one starting up in Gaffney. We got another one starting up in Woodruff, Welford area. American League Wrestling is the one in Woodruff.
Okay.
Or American Wrestling League, AWL, ALW. I don't know. It's one of the two. That's coming up. I don't know too much about it. It's very kind of like, I'm not going to say it's early stages, because from what I understand, they've got everything ready. They're just waiting to flip the switch. So that's another conversation for another day, because I'll probably be there with them as well.
Nice.
And as far as the kid in Gaffney starting one up, who knows? I do know that they had already written out months worth of booking, and I'm like, you've written out months worth of booking, you got a ring? These are the things we need to know.
Right.
Everybody, man, look, I could write a show. You want to write a show? We can write one. We ain't got shit to work with, though, so we're kind of
gotta have that ring.
But Harry jumped in, talking about Stone Cold Fox Larkin. There we go.
Yep, Stone Cold Fox Larkin.
Gotcha.
And what the funny thing is, she doesn't really wrestle. She just mainly valets. So this is coming out of her comfort zone, being in a match.
There we go. That'll be cool. Wesley asks, Chase, have you ever wrestled Kerry Morton, Ricky's son?
Yes, I have. I wrestled Kerry and Ricky in the same match. We did a 6-man tag. This was, I think it was 2020, kind of like when some shows were starting to run back, starting to open back up.
Yeah.
And I was in a 6-man tag, and I wrestled Ricky and Kerry and somebody else, and I was tagging with Elijah Proctor and somebody else. I forgot though. But yeah, so I have wrestled Kerry.
Oh, that's very cool. I mean, man, the Mortons are as wrestling royalty here in the South.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
I mean, you got George South, you got Jerry Lawler.
Wow.
You ain't got but so many huge names, especially local to us in this area.
Right.
I mean, Adam lives here now, but he's originally from Canada, and you got now we got FTR making waves. We had the Hardys for 20 years.
Right.
But either way, Jimmy Hart's from down here somewhere, apparently. I don't know, but Wesley said that's awesome. So
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yep. And then somebody chimed in about your match last night. You worked last night, man.
Oh yeah, I was actually, speaking of Greenville. I was in Greenville last night. 3 Count Pro Wrestling down there at Calvary First Baptist.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of them? They've
Yeah.
been running a long time in South Carolina.
Right. I've heard of them. I've just never. I haven't been.
Yeah, they had a show last night. It was a great show. Um, yeah, I wasn't able to. I was wanting to talk to you guys because they were down there and didn't get a chance to. It was cold. I was just trying to get home.
Man, it was bitter
Yeah,
yesterday. I was out yesterday as well. It's nice out today.
yeah,
I
yeah.
had to turn the air on today in the house.
Hmm.
I was like, this is some backwards. It
It's
snowed 2 nights ago, and
right.
and I got the air conditioning on today. Welcome to living in the South. But oh man, so what do we got coming up? What's on the docket for Mr. Chase
So
Henry?
let's see. I am pretty busy come up in February. So February 5th, that's the first Saturday in February. I'm down in Williamston, South Carolina. That's Battle Zone.
Okay.
Battle Zone Championship Wrestling. It's going to be me versus Zuka King. It's going to be a rematch from last time. So last year in late November, me and Zuka King were wrestling for the Battle Zone United States Championship. We had a match. It ended up, I think it ended up in DQ, or I forgot what happened, but the referee got knocked out. I want to say it was DQ or something, something wonky, and then it turned into a 6-man tag, and because 2 guys came out to help me, because 2 guys that were friends with Zuka, came and were trying to get the upper hand on me. Well, ended up the stipulation in that 6-man that happened right after that match was if I was able to pin Zuka, then I'd get a rematch. But if I wasn't able to pin him, I wasn't getting a rematch the next show. Well, ended up getting the pin, ended up small packaging them, getting the pin. So that solidified this match in February. So that's what's going to be me and Zuka King. And I think Perry James is going to be handcuffed during that match because he had a big play in that part of the
Ref getting
DQ
knocked out.
in the last
Oh,
match.
man.
So he's going to be handcuffed.
So that's February. What else we got coming
Let's
up?
see.
I know you're booked like hell.
Yeah, I can hear you better now. I don't know what you did.
I didn't do anything. I'm sitting back in the chair.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I can hear you a little bit better now. But let's see. After that, February the 12th, I'll be back in HWA Gilkey. They're having the annual Bunkhouse Brawl. So it's going to be Royal Rumble style type battle royal. 30 men come in. 2 men start out every 90 seconds. Other competitors running in. So that's what I have in February 12th. And then the 19th, I'm actually making a return to Lincolnton, North Carolina. First time I'm going to be back there. And it's been about a year since I've wrestled there. And that's where I originally started at See No Evil Wrestling, a new promotion that's popped up there.
I saw their video package
Yeah.
earlier this week, and I'm like, this looks pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. It's going to be me and Jackson Sane wrestling at that.
He's one of my favorite people, dude.
Yeah, you might have to make that one.
Ah, Christ. When is this?
February 19th.
February 19th. Okay.
Yeah, so that's, and that's where I started my wrestling career. It's like always going back to Lincoln, it's a joy for me, taking that same road of driving the same road. I'm like, well, this is the road I was taking when I, first started. Let's see, the week after that, let's see, when is that? That's the 20. I'll be at Hendersonville Uprise Pro Wrestling in Hendersonville, North Carolina, making my debut up there. That's going to be another good show. And then the day after that, so that's Sunday, I'm actually going down to Charleston, South Carolina for Old School Championship Wrestling. Have you ever heard of that promotion?
Yeah, I've heard of. I mean, I've heard of a bunch of them, but
Yeah.
going to them, I've been to CPW, Pro Wrestling Union, and his, and that's it. Those are the three I've been to.
Old School Championship Wrestling. It's a really good promotion. They're tag team champs right now, Gangrel and Kevin Thorne. So you got two,
Wow.
former WWE guys right there, tag team
Yeah.
in the locker room every month. So that's like, pretty cool. And then guys like Lodi wrestle there. A lot of good guys like Carlitos wrestled there before. Brian Pillman Jr. They get stars, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So check this out. Harry says handcuffed to Boomer. Pain. Perry is not gonna like that. Well, if that's what they're doing to Perry, what are they gonna do to Vanderford?
Right. Well,
What are they gonna do to the G?
Well, Vanderford's not going to be there at Battlezone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but let's see. I don't think I'll be with Vanderford any in February unless he comes to Old School. And now in March we should be me and Vanderford will be together in matches for a good bit, because in March I'll be back at PWF, Patriotic Wrestling Federation.
Right.
They're running a Friday show March 4th. The poster for that just came out today.
I think I saw that earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb with the K, Caleb Conley, he's going to be there. He's on Impact. And Suicide.
Yeah.
They'll be at that show. And then I'll have to look at my dates, but I know I got another PWF show later that month. It's at Clover High School. And that show last time drew like 700 people. So I'm hoping, the same result for this time.
That's Thomas, right? Zach?
Yeah.
Zach
Thomas.
Yeah, Zach Thomas.
Yeah.
Dude, I met him at the his show. Yeah. I'm like, I just kind of stood back and listened when he was chatting, amongst whoever was there. I just sat back and listened.
Yeah.
And because that's what I try to do. I just try to listen and see who's saying what, who's thinking what, and that way I can, okay, I see what they're getting at. Or try to understand their perception of what's happening in front of them.
Right.
We do have another question for you though. Ever wrestled for an indie company called VCW? They're in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Vanguard Championship Wrestling. We were talking about it. Major Damian Wade. I don't know about that place. I don't know if you know anything of that.
No, I've actually never wrestled in Virginia. I've been messaged about wrestling a show in Virginia, but I was already had something going on. But no, I've never wrestled up there, and I don't know a Damian Wade, but I know a Damian Wayne. So I don't know if that's the same guy or if they just meant to say Wayne, but I don't know a Damian.
I'm not real sure either, man. It's one of those things, dude.
Yeah.
But oh man, so if people want to get a hold of you, people want to book you, people want to be fans, where can they find you? Where can they find your stuff? Merch, social media, anything?
Yeah. So if you want to, book me or message me, you can message me on Facebook. It's Chase Emery, Emery. That's my Facebook, and then I'm on Instagram at Chase_Emery_wrestling. You can get on my page, follow if you want to, DM me, and then I'm on Twitter, Chase_Emery98, and that's my Twitter account. I get on there sometimes, but not much. Not many like promoters and stuff like posters on Twitter and stuff, so don't really have much to retweet and stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing I have noticed. See, I've tried to use all the social media outreaches that I can for what we're doing here. So it's 3 Facebook pages plus Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. This is being broadcast live on YouTube right now as well.
Okay, and I also have a YouTube channel. It's Chase Emery. You can find me on there. I'll post some matches every once in a while.
There you go. That's cool. All right, man. Do we have a merch site? Or is it just merch tables?
So I had merch last year, but that's a long story and something probably don't want to talk about on here. But merch is going to be coming back. Actually, I talked to a guy yesterday who's going to be making my T-shirts because I got my last night I broke out some new gear, and on the back of my trunks I have this a logo. It says Blue Chipper on it, like a logo. So I talked to him about putting that logo on shirts, red, white, and blue shirts. Because everybody uses a lot of like professional wrestlers that have their merch shirts black. So I'm gonna try to be a little different, have them red, blue, white, different colors. So we talked about that. So I just talked about that to him last night. So we're gonna work on come out with that. And I used to have bracelets. I used to sell like little rubber band bracelets people would wear. So I'm gonna try to get some of those back because I've had some people asking about those.
Gotcha. Man, well, I don't know how much longer you got, but I mean, however long you want to go,
Yeah,
whatever you want to talk about, man, you go for it.
I gotta. What kind of like wrestling you like to watch? You like to watch, older, like more modern style or older?
I watch anything and everything, man. Whatever's on the TV, I generally turn on.
Yeah.
This week, Thursday was a little bit hectic, so I didn't catch Impact, but I still wrote it up. What I do is I watch it all and try to retain everything I can, but I write every match down.
Okay.
For the win losses. I recap that for the whole week for WWE, AEW, Impact, and NXT. I'll touch on Ring of Honor if somebody brings it up. I'll touch on NWA if somebody brings it up.
Okay.
I try to keep up with everybody as best I can, and then when I have local folks, you, Luca, or whoever, the floor is yours. Present whatever you want to present. You want to break something down, we can break it down. It is what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of Luca, I was at the Greenville Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago. I went there and watched, and they did a main event before the show started, and he did a match.
Yep, against T-Bar.
I didn't. To be honest, I didn't notice him at first because he was wearing different trunks. Like his look was a little bit different, so I didn't notice him at first. But I started looking. I was like, I know that guy.
Yeah, it was, dude. I mean, he got his ass whipped, but it was the fact that he,
Right.
you guys, the both of you.
He hasn't been doing it long. He's been doing it. I've been doing it longer than him. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 13 months for him. He's been doing it 13 months. Is early. That's what he said on air. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Wait, now what is this? In May, a current AEW star has signed on to challenge Pro Wrestling Union Heavyweight Champion.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Cole? Are you trying to make an announcement for an AEW star right now? Hang tight.
This must be breaking news.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe this is breaking news. I had no idea this was coming, so that's why you've seen me looking across the screen. I'm trying to get over to my messenger real quick on the other monitor. Let's see. We might be getting ready to get joined by Mr. McAfee here. I don't know exactly what's going down, but this is 100% unprecedented. Oh, you tease. That's not okay. Check your messengers. Get in here.
Well, I mean, that's kind of Cole McAfee for you. He's a big tease. He'll do that.
It is. Man, hell, I thought we were working. Now we're shooting. What the shit?
I mean, I'm not even worried about May right now. I'm more focused on March,
Dude.
Gotta get past Cole Bruno.
You and Colby's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah.
I went and watched some of that kids. I've seen your matches in person, so I know what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't really watched his stuff. Now, I watched the match between him and his dad.
Okay.
That was wild.
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard stuff about it.
I saw the promo for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if I actually watched the match itself yet or not. That part kind of escapes me, dude. I watch a lot of wrestling, so but it's like you got to add this stuff, and you got to take in what he has and what you have, and we got to see it work.
Yeah.
It's going to be intense.
Oh yeah.
It is going to be intense. This fool, more to come soon, and that's all he's going to leave us with is more to come soon. I sent him an invite. He's got the invite, so I mean, this is on Mr. McAfee if he wants to jump in and
Right.
and kind of tell us what's going on. But a current AEW star has signed on to challenge whoever the champion is, which I think it'll be you. Oh,
But,
and here we go. Mr. Mac, how you doing tonight?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm actually recovering from the dreaded COVID bug. So,
Well, welcome. I've been sitting at the house for 2 weeks because of this shit.
yeah, it's going around, and don't want to get too much into it, but it seems like it's spreading like wildfire again. So we're just going to see how that goes.
Yeah.
But it's been crazy. Mr. Emery, how are you doing, sir?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing fine, sir.
Hey, last time we were together, weren't we taking pictures? Me and you, me with that shiny belt on my shoulder.
Yeah, I remember, and congratulations.
I got that hanging over my bed right now in my room. I mean, I can take you in there and show you on my on the video, but
no, that's fine. What you do in your bedroom is your own business, But no, and congratulations once again on everything that's been happening. Not only is he the Pro Wrestling Union heavyweight champion, Chase Emery, he's also the 3-count next level champion, which I heard you had a successful title defense.
Yep.
Of course, they just discussed being on AEW Dark Elevation in the tag team match with Private Party, which was excellent. You and Patrick Scott, somebody that's worked for Pro Wrestling Union before.
Yeah.
But no, I just saw where I got the invite, so I just decided to come on here. I won't take too much of the time because this is Chase's interview time. But would you want me? You wanted more breaking news?
Oh yeah. Oh, I want the whole thing.
You want more breaking news?
I want the whole thing.
Well, I mean, it could be anybody. It could be Jungle Boy. It could be Luchasaurus. It could be who else? Who else do we got? It's not Joey Janela, I can tell you that right now. Or Sonny Kiss. It's not either one of those guys.
It could be Brock Anderson.
It could be Brock Anderson, and I think that would actually be quite appropriate, to be honest with you. So
yeah, that really would be. I'll go ahead and rule out like CM Punk. I'll say it's not him.
No. I don't have that kind of money.
I'm not mortgaging my house for this one.
I would have to remortgage my house at least 1 million times, and even that, I don't think that'd still be good enough.
No. Damn. It's not Jericho.
No.
Now I do have a little sideways connection to Mr. Adam Page, but I don't know if that would be.
Well, I know Hangman Page.
Oh, well,
yeah,
that helps.
I know Page worked a few years ago in South Carolina. Where did he work at in was it Anderson or was it?
He worked over in like Lawrence.
Lawrence.
He's worked over in Columbia, I think, for one of the shows. A couple of places here in South Carolina. I know he's definitely worked over in Rock Hill and Clover when PWX first started out. This was back when before Brian Kanabrowski became the boss of PWX. It was under another management team. And you had guys like Rhett Titus, Roderick Strong, several Ring of Honor guys that were constantly making appearances there. Cedric Alexander, before he got signed to ROH and WWE, of course. So a lot of good guys that could be coming in, and just think about it. There's several guys that are from the area that are currently signed to All Elite Wrestling at this time. So it could be somebody that could be locally known, but is now nationally known thanks to All Elite Wrestling. So
now, we had somebody else threw a name out there. It was Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal, man, Jay Lethal would be great.
I mean, dude, you guys know how I am about wrestling. Well, Chase, you may not, but Cole, you and I have had a lot of discussions. I'm not the biggest AEW fan. It's just, it is what it is. It's production to me. It's how it's portrayed, how it's put out there, and how business is handled. Whereas that still doesn't mean I don't think highly of the talent that work there. The talent is still the talent. The talent still do the damn thing as best as they can. And it's always, the spot with Punk this week on Dynamite was funnier than hell. For him to immediately drop Sean Spears was that was a riot to me. I thought that was funny. I thought that made the first half right there. The whole first half of the show off of one move worked perfect.
Yeah, it might be Sean Spears, and that might be how long it goes when I defend my title. So,
oh, hey, there we go. I wouldn't mind seeing that either. The chairman with the weirdest haircut in the industry. One of them. But Mr. Mack, that's all you're going to give us. You're just going to tease us.
I think there might be something wrong with the audio on my end because it sounds like it's very scrambled. So I might just go ahead and dip on out. I don't know what's going on with the audio, but I'll go ahead and dip on out. But basically, I just wanted to come on here since you sent me the invite, and congratulations on the new show, Ron.
Thank you, sir.
It's going great. And Chase, congratulations on everything that you're doing. I'll be seeing you in March, if not sooner. Okay.
All right, man.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Cole McAfee, Pro Wrestling Union.
And thank you very much, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you.
Man, he's just gonna string us along.
Yeah.
Just gonna string us along.
The only thing that I do know is the Pro Wrestling Union show in May is on a Friday night. It's on May 6th.
Pro Wrestling Union show in May.
Yeah, that's the one he was talking about. That
what, with the AEW star?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who it is, or I have no idea who I'm wrestling, but I do know the next night I'll be in Sylvia, North Carolina. Silva. Here's to Legends. I'm wrestling Impact star John Skyler that night.
Man.
So
yeah.
It's going to be a rough beginning of May for me. Hard schedule.
Well, Heroes to Wrestling. That's they do a hell of a lot of charity work.
Yeah, they do.
Man, it's always great to give back to the community, and that's
Absolutely.
that's one thing I try to make sure anybody I'm affiliated with isn't just doing it for the wrong reasons. They're doing it for every reason.
Right.
Because you got the right reasons, you got the wrong reasons, but then if you're doing it for all of them, then that makes the point.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of that's why I like being associated with who I'm associated with.
Right. Yeah.
But at any rate, man, that was a tease, and that sucked. But
yeah, because I want to know just as bad as you do.
Well, here's the thing. I know Cole is going to be coming on the show anyway to promote the Wrestling Classic.
Okay.
In Union, and then maybe we'll be able to wring something out of him then. I don't know. We'll see how it pans out.
You might have to send me an invite to that one.
Well, we know you'll have the belt at that point because you got it now.
Right.
And it'll be before the Wrestling Classic. So there's that. Oh, and here we go. He said, "I'll save it for then." How about that? There we go. We
Okay.
know we will find out who the winner of Chase Emery versus Colby Carino, which happens at the Wrestling Classic in March.
March 26th, I believe.
March 26th. We will find out who the winner of that and the current Pro Wrestling Union champion will face in May. Now that's how you lay shit out. We're already, man. Look, it's January. We talking 5 months of storyline. Good.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's how it goes, man. But anyway, Chase, thank you very much for being here, my friend. I appreciate it. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah,
I know
man, absolutely.
I did. It looks like we've had a bunch of comments and a bunch of people chiming in. They're digging how you class act Chase, and you chased him away.
Wow.
Man, I mean, hey, this is what the show half-assed is.
Mm-hmm.
I let whoever's watching speak on that.
Absolutely.
Let's go, because
absolutely
it ain't just about one person's opinion does the whole thing, because that's all you get when you're dealing with a regular podcast. You don't have them guys answering Twitter and Twitch and all these other things.
Yep.
Now, you get some of our local shows, you know, Harry and them and Scott and them. Yeah, they do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're trying to do this and make it out there for anybody and everybody that loves pro wrestling to jump in and do the thing. So, on that note, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, hit the notification bell. Hell, hit it all. Absolutely. And while you're at it, you be sure to find Chase Emery on all your favorite social media platforms. Give him a follow, a like, a subscribe onto YouTube, and see what the American blue chip is all about. Because I'm telling you one thing, Vince McMahon will pay this some bitch money. I ain't lying to you. I'm not full of it. I'm not wrong. That's the great thing about being me. That's why they call me the Saint, because I'm not wrong. I may be a dick, and I may be a prick, and I may be an asshole. But guess what? I'm not wrong.
Hey, I hope you're right, man. I hope, see some money coming soon.
Hey, brother, you keep your head up and you keep working the way you're working. I got no problem paying the money to see you on the big stage. Yeah. Not a problem one.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Yep. I can't wait to see you next time in the ring.
Absolutely.
So hopefully I'll see you sometime in February.
Yeah.
And we'll catch up. But man, I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Chase Emery.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, thank you.
We'll see you.
Take care. Bye. Folks, that was a fun interview. And damn, 45 minutes of the show went into that interview. That's how we like to do shit. Thank you, Cole, for jumping in and chiming in. So we are moving forwards into the weekly recap at this time. Dan, we're almost an hour in and we're just now starting the recap. Monday Night Raw, Doudrop, and the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch defeated Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. Oh, sorry about that. We see how it's going. It's the same damn storyline they've done for years when it came to challengers and having to team with the champion. It's rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. We've seen it. It's just another day in the life of the show. So, there we go. Monday Night Raw. Moving on. Kevin Owens defeated the United States champion Damian Priest. I was surprised that they had KO go over, but this is building towards the future for both. Damian Priest is phenomenal. Yet again, this was one of my matches of the week. Kevin Owens is absolutely awesome. There is so many talented wrestlers on the roster that it's hard to get somebody to stand out when they don't look like a Brock Lesnar or a Roman Reigns. When you have a normal-looking person like a Kevin Owens, for them to stand out the way that he does is bar none, one of the best things going on Monday Night Raw on WWE TV, period. Bar none. RK Bro crashed the Raw Tag Team Champion Alpha Academy graduation ceremony. Who couldn't see Orton coming? The people in the crowd obviously saw it coming, but like even us sitting at home, we kind of knew that that's what was getting ready to happen. But either way, it was fun to see how it was, and they let you in on that history between Otis and Chad Gable, which I felt like they needed to do that anyway, because while people like me and other folks who do their research and aren't living under a rock, we've gone through and we've analyzed this stuff, and we know that those two knew each other from the past. So it worked out really well. Austin Theory defeated Finn Balor. Oh my God, you would have thought the internet was on fire after this match. So many people hated the fact that Austin Theory defeated Finn Balor. Reality is this. Finn Balor is, I'm not going to say he's Teflon. I'm not going to say that he can't lose and it affect him. Obviously, a loss is going to affect you. However, it's Finn freaking Balor. He's been doing this for 20 years or better, and he's still awesome. It's irrelevant that he lost to Austin Theory, who's a younger talent, an up-and-comer, and it's going to be he's going to be a staple in this industry for a long time to come. He's going to be around for a long time. Nikki ASH launched another attack on Rhea Ripley. You give these people the microphone, you give them the opportunity to talk, but they're saying the same thing they've already said for weeks on end. Guys, you're missing me here. Almost defeated Reggie. Wow. Ray Charles could have seen that coming. Jesus Christ, guys. There's so many things where you feel like, yet again, repetition. It's getting, Monday Night Raw was a little bit ridiculous on the repetitiveness this week. The Miz and Maurice got one over on Edge and Beth Phoenix. Big deal. It's going to end up at the Rumble. And it's going to end with Edge and Beth Phoenix being on top. I'm predicting that now. I'll say that the day after the Rumble, because guess what? The Rumble is this coming Saturday. If the Rumble's on Saturday, I'll have the write-up for next Sunday, and here we go. The Street Profits, Rey and Dominic Mysterio defeated Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Apollo Crews, Commander Aziz in an 8-man tag match. Yet again, we're stuffing people into a multi-man match. That's an AEW move. All day, every day, that's an AEW move. They put all these people on screen just to give them TV time. That's great. You could have laid it out different. You could have had 2 tag team matches, but 1 8-man tag match, the hell with it. It's cool. And if that cover is legit for WWE 2K, that's a badass cover, and Rey Mysterio deserves it. Now, he was the alternate cover for the 13, but that was because Punk was the cover for WWE 2K13. So, as far as the NWO package goes, I think that's a neat thing to offer, and I'm glad that they do that. I wish to hell that you didn't have to buy an upgraded package just to get DLC that you could probably get anyway. I wouldn't want to give up the Rey Mysterio cover for the NWO cover, but I want the NWO content, if that makes sense. That's just me. That's how I'm wired. Let's see here. Bobby Lashley defeated Seth freaking Rollins via disqualification. What a matchup that was. Lashley and Rollins worked together so well. I was just blown away. I didn't anticipate it to be that good, and it was that good. So, moving on into the next segment. NXT 2.0. LA Knight called out Grayson Waller. Okay, so he got injured. He calls him out. Scuffle ensues. Now we get Grayson Waller, Dexter Lumis. I get the build, but it almost doesn't make any sense. But you have Waller defeating Dexter Loomis also doesn't make much sense to me. Dexter Loomis, to me, legitimately upper mid card, easily upper mid card. I think he's a talented wrestler. His gimmick's cool. He's different. I really do believe that you can see him being a world title holder. I don't foresee it happening at this stage of the game in NXT. I really think Dexter needs to be shoved up to the main roster at this point. That's just how I feel about it. Yeah, the Creed brothers defeated Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen in a Dusty Classic first-round matchup. The Creed brothers, I really would have rather seen Briggs and Jensen go over, but, you know, it is what it is. When you're dealing with NXT and you're dealing with the Dusty Cup, they're looking for the long term. Why they had the segment after the match where you had the ladies come into the locker room and talking to them like, oh, we're going out tonight and all this shit. Okay, cool, but what's the point? It's not just about having great matches. You got to have it. The story's got to go somewhere. There's got to be an end game. There's got to be a result. There's got to be a reason why. So seeing as there has to be a reason why, are we too early in the story to know what the reason is? Is there going to be a reason why? Is the better question. When they drop stories in the middle of nothing, that kind of loses your fans' focus. They kind of drop out of that. We had Dante Chin versus Guru Raj. That ended in a no contest. Look, I get the need for screwball finishes, but every week it's getting old. NXT 2.0, take notes. It's getting old. Tony D'Angelo called out Carmelo Hayes during his Pete Dunne memorial service. That's a good way to do business. Not a lot of people are all that big on Tony D. I think the kid has it. I really do. Carmelo Hayes is a phenomenal athlete, great wrestler. There's nothing wrong with him. But Tony D right now is a draw. It's time to make money where you can. Ivy now defeated Kaylee Ray. That surprised the shit out of me. Kaylee Ray is a seasoned veteran. Just a seasoned veteran when it comes to wrestling. She was badass in the UK. NXT UK was awesome, and she was great in that division. Seriously, super talented wrestler. Ivy Nile, young up-and-comer. Okay, she's legit. But was that really what's best for business? Or would that have been one of the things where that could have been your screwball finish for the night to drag this out a little longer? Not only that, you got both of them portraying heels. It's kind of awkward. It's just kind of awkward. But it was a good match. Malik Blade and Edris Inofi defeated Legado del Fantasma. Completely shocked on that one. Had no idea that was coming. It made no sense for Legado del Fantasma to be eliminated, but here we go yet again. They're pushing the younger generation on NXT 2.0. They're using the older talent to do the things that need to be done to get the newer guys some credibility. You know, they got to have street cred. They got to have ring credibility. You want them working with a higher caliber because that way they get better. But damn, do we have to see all the veterans losing every week? Like, is that how that goes? Dakota Kai defeated Alicia Leon. Okay. Dakota Kai, yet again, seasoned. She's been doing this for years. I didn't anticipate this one to go any other way than how it went. Walter defeated Roderick Strong. That was a lot better than I expected it to be. I really thought they were just going to squash Strong, and I'm so glad that they didn't. And to the first one of you who calls him Gunther, I really don't care. You can call him Gunther. You can call him Walter. It doesn't matter. You're still going to call him because you're still saying the name. It's irrelevant. 100% irrelevant. you still refer to Kevin Nash as Diesel. You refer to Kevin Nash as Big Daddy Cool. You refer to him as Big Sexy. Some of you may call him the cop from The Longest Yard. Who knows? I don't know. But it's so insane to me that people are so hung up on a name and they're burning down Twitter over it. Look, it can be looked at in any light you want to look at it as. Are they being insensitive to whatever happened? Have you not heard of Men on a Mission? That was a derivative of another scenario. Same with the Soul Patrol. I didn't see nobody shying away from the Black Panther movie. It goes every direction. It's not just a one-way street. The roads go two ways. Phone lines work two ways. Everything can work both directions. Let's not pretend here. It's wrestling. They're going to push boundaries. They're going to push buttons. And right now, the WWE doesn't want to push the buttons with over sexuality or over dramatized and saturated violence. That's not what they're after right now. They're after a different market. So if they slip something in there that the kids aren't going to catch, but the adults will catch, they've done their job. It's no different than, have you guys sat back and watched an episode of SpongeBob? It ain't no different than that. There's something for the kids to laugh at, and there's some adult hidden shit in there too, and that's why you're okay with sitting there watching it for 3 hours with your child. Come on, folks. It's chess, not checkers. Long-term planning, long game. They don't play shorthanded here. Everything's about money, and it's all going to keep flowing. We got to know how this goes. Moving on now, we're going into AEW Dynamite. Okay, so we opened up the show with the return of Jon Moxley. First and foremost, the dude looked great. He looked like he had dropped some weight. He looked healthy. He looked happy. So, kudos to him. As far as somebody saying that he owes the fans an apology, whatever. I understand the point. You know, I should apologize for not being here in front of the fans who bought a ticket. Okay, hey, excuse me for not being here. I get it. Makes sense. Do you need to apologize more to the boys in the back than you do to people in the crowd? Who'd you let down? What storylines went out the window because of your absence? That's an even better thought there. People need to stop listening to just one section of the whole thing and pay attention to the entire story. Because look at it like this. If you were, President Jefferson, we'll use this as just an example. The tree of liberty must be replenished by the blood of patriots. It's one section. The next line is tyrants, by patriots and tyrants. So that whole thing sounded great right here. And then all of a sudden, holy shit. Now it's got a real different meaning because it doesn't mean just one thing. It means a lot of things. You got to see the big picture. You got to be able to look beyond the 8 ball. So it was funny as hell that right out the gate, he opens up with an F-bomb right there live on TV. A lot of people got a big kick out of that. And, who gives a shit? Most of us that watch the show, we're adults, and it is what it is. So let's see here. Very first match we had was Freshly Squeezed, Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander versus Adam Cole and the AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. So here's my thing. I just wrote up a post a couple weeks back talking about I wanted to see Baker and Cole versus Guevara and Tay. But Obviously, Guevara's got a thing with Cody. Tay's got her thing with whatever. This kind of makes sense and it works and it fits. Obviously, you had Baker and Cole go over in this situation. Worked out well. It was a good match. It was a fun time. And Baker took a table bump. What's not to enjoy? Second match on the card was CM Punk versus the chairman, Shawn Spears. Punk gets GT. Punk hits the GTS and wins. It's over. One hit and it's done. And that's how it went. Beautiful piece of work there. Then he takes the scarf from MJF and he wears that like a jackass. And it fits. It fits. TNT champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes returned with a killer promo. So he acknowledged all the stuff that CM Punk said. He acknowledged going through the forbidden doors and working New Japan and working here, working there, and doing all this. But Cody actually did all that shit that CM Punk said he would do. That's an interesting little tidbit there to keep in mind for the future, because I have a feeling you're going to see Cody and Punk go at it. Now, I'm hoping it's not for the TNT title. Excuse me, the TNT title. I hope it's not for that. I really don't see that as being a viable point. The only way that would make sense, there's one way that makes sense. One, that's for Cody to be the TNT champion going into it, Punk to take the title off of Cody, and Punk to drop it to MJF. It's the only way that makes any sense. It's the only way. But are you going to really put the mid-card title on MJF? Or are you going to wait until Punk takes the main title and then have MJF come up and take it from him? Those are the chess pieces that you got to watch and see how they play out. The House of Black, Malachi Black and Brody King versus the Varsity Blondes. They freaking annihilated the Varsity Blondes. The thing with Julia Hart still kind of skeeves me out a little bit. It's kind of like Stockholm Syndrome when it comes to her. That's kind of where I feel that going. It's really weird. But, hell, great match. Makes sense, and it works. The Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer with Dan Lambert and Jake the Snake Roberts. Why do you need two coaches or managers or mouthpieces? Make that make sense to me. I don't get it. And he goes against Frankie Kazarian, another seasoned veteran, another phenomenal wrestler. But why? What was the point of the match? Who did what to make that seem like a good idea? Where's the story behind that? If you're going to do stuff, for the most part, you don't just have a match just to have a match because it's a match and you need to fill time. It's got to make sense. But at either rate, Archer destroyed him. It's going to make Archer look good going into his match against Hangman Adam Page, which, yet again, that's going to be awesome, especially if the underdog, Adam Page, the champion, is the underdog going into that. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That is 100% legit. He's going to be the underdog going into that match. So how you're going to have the underdog champion defeat the Murder Hawk monster is beyond me. But at any rate, I hope it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing that match. Now, this next one got a lot of attention. And beyond anything I've said in recent memory, Serena Deeb is one of the finest professional wrestlers on the planet. Note that I said professional wrestler. I didn't say women's wrestler. I said wrestler, professional wrestler. That woman is fan-freaking-tastic. Everything she does looks so crisp. It's so clean, so polished. It's unreal to me how good she is and why she's not featured further. Serena Deeb versus Britt Baker. Tony, I know you fucks are listening to me somehow, some way. Almost everything that gets said in my chat rooms of wrestling content ends up happening within the next couple weeks or months. So I know somehow, some way, y'all are hearing this. Go ahead and make that one and give the fans what they want. We want Serena Deeb versus Dr. Britt Baker. I don't even give a shit who wins. I really don't care who wins. It's not going to matter who wins because the fans will win that. We will get what we deserve out of that one. And the main event for Dynamite. Oh, well, you know what? Serena Deeb defeated Sky Blue. We all knew that was coming, but either way. Sting and Darby Allin versus the Acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. I don't like the Acclaimed. I really don't. I have no use for them. The mic work is mediocre at best. A lot of people think, oh, they're so cool because they're edgy. Nah, not really. It's not that edgy. I mean, shit, I could watch South Park and get more out of it than that. John Cena, Chris Jericho, The Rock. I can keep naming names of people who've had more interesting and vulgar shit in their promos before a match. It doesn't work for me. I don't know why. I'm not a fan of the Acclaimed. But cool on Sting and Darby Allin for winning that. Sting showing that he still got it by a long shot. So I'm all about it. Moving on here to Impact Pro Wrestling. Now, I didn't get to watch all of Impact, but it wasn't the worst show, what I did see of it. Let's see here. You had the digital media champion, Jordan Grace, defeated Lady Frost. Now, apparently after this, Matt Cardona challenges Jordan Grace to a match for this digital media championship. Okay, I get it, but is that going to be their new mid-card title? Is that what that is? Because you got the X division, which I guess they're going to use that for the cruiserweight. Cruiserweight maybe, and then we're going to have the digital media champion, which what is this Twitch title now? So the Twitch title, sure, we'll go with that. I don't understand it. They've got so many belts out now. It's hard to keep up. It's no different than WWE. So many titles. Just so many titles. Tasha Steelz with Savannah Evans defeated Chelsea Green. I like that they're building up Tasha Steelz. Don't get me wrong in that. But Chelsea Green is way better than she's being booked. Period. She's way better than she's being booked for. I'm not a big Chelsea Green fan. She's still way better than she's being booked. But either way, that was worth a watch. The Influence, Tenelle Dashwood and Madison Rayne with Caleb with a K versus Havoc in a handicap match. I completely did not watch that. I ain't even going up front. I didn't watch that. I'm not real big on Havoc. I like Tenelle Dashwood and I like Madison Rayne. I don't know shit about Caleb with a K. I don't know anything about that guy, but it is what it is. W. Morrissey defeated the Learning Tree, VSK, and Zicky Dice with Brian Myers. Cool. Yet again, another match I didn't watch. Now, the Ring of Honor World Champion Jonathan Gresham defeated Steve Macklin in a pure rules match for the ROH World Championship. This is one where I caught clips, and I need to go back and rewatch the whole thing. Jonathan Gresham is a freaking nightmare in the ring. I don't care who you are, you get in the ring with that dude, and you're going to have a goddamn problem. No bones about it. Gresham is legit, and I can't wait to see him mix it up with some seriously talented wrestlers. Not just at Impact, because I hope they do more than just Impact and Ring of Honor merge, which, wait a minute, pretty sure we called that shit like a year ago, that should have happened back then. Because it's sad to me that Sinclair, the company that has 150 TV stations nationwide, can't get a better time slot and can't get better production on a wrestling show that they own. That's kind of sickening to me. It makes no sense that they do that shit. Get it together, people. Get it together. Let's go. You had the Impact World Tag Team Champions Doc Gallows and Joe Deering with Carl Anderson. Eric Young and Diener defeated Heath Slater and Rhino. Over and over and over again. I've seen these same guys in the ring together for the last month on Impact. It's getting old. So I'm just going to move right on from that. Josh Alexander defeated Charlie Haas. Now, this is where it gets interesting. That match was actually pretty badass. I watched a good couple clips from that one earlier today before coming on air. I think I was making dinner when I had that on. So Charlie Haas has been gone from the WWE spotlight for years. He's been working the independents a lot. He's done a lot of good work down there in Texas. You get a chance, go check it out. Absolutely just good work. The dude does good work. He does good charity work. He does everything that you would want somebody to do. Both professionally and personally, he's trying to do the right thing. I got nothing but praise for the man. Now, I do understand that he got injured when this occurred. I am trying to reach out to him directly. I want to hear, make sure he's all right. I don't know the guy personally, but I know people that know him and work with him. So I want to make sure the dude's okay. And possibly bring him on air for you folks here. Because, why wouldn't I try to do everything I can to bring you the best? And bring you current stars and people you see on TV and people you want to interact with, people you want to talk to. This is what we're about. But Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, this another stud in the industry. I know they're going to circle back to it. They're going to get back to him and Moose for the Impact World title. I can't wait for it to happen, and I look forward to seeing Josh Alexander hoist that strap one more time. Moving on now into Friday Night SmackDown. So to open up the show, we get a hell of a promo from Roman Reigns. And Roman's out there talking his game about the Royal Rumble and how they're going to go and what they're going to do. All of a sudden, it becomes this new gamble. If Seth Rollins loses, then Roman takes a vacation. He doesn't have to defend his title. I kind of thought that's what was going to happen when they announced it, because I was like, well, if he doesn't have to lose, he doesn't have to beat him, then they could just keep it going. They can have this storyline go on for longer, or you have another way of avoiding it, and you end up with a viable reason for Roman and Brock at Mania. Because if Roman hadn't had to defend his title, he could have entered the Rumble, and then he could have challenged Brock. Now, I want you to think about that. How different would that have been? It would have been way different if you're talking about having Brock Lesnar challenged by Roman Reigns. It's just a thought, just the type of shit that runs through my brain, man. There's some stuff rattling in up there that every now and then makes sense. So first match we had was Kofi Kingston defeated Madcap Moss. I didn't expect Kofi to win this, to be honest with you. I thought they were going to go ahead and, strap the boots to Madcap and start sending him up the card a little further. But, Kofi pulled it off. It was a good match. Aaliyah defeated Natalya by disqualification. I can't get over how good she looks doing what she's doing and she's really not that seasoned, but she's in there with like legitimately probably the best women's wrestler in history. That being Natalia. She doesn't have to be decorated. She doesn't have to, have all the accolades in the world. She's still legitimately one badass woman who's done a lot of badass things. So let's see here. We had the Viking Raiders defeated Los Lotharios. Man, they are really getting behind them, and it's great to see that. I don't see the tag team division staying split for much longer. I don't expect the brand split to last much longer. I hope the hell it goes away. But we're going to get what we're going to get out of it, and I hope in the long term that we end up with the Viking Raiders overtaking the Usos. I really think that's what's best for business is some fresh meat on top of a tag team division, especially on the SmackDown side. We can only have so many times of the Usos versus the New Day, so we got to go somewhere and we got to go away from it. SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair defeated Naomi. Now, I'm over this. I'm beyond done with the whole Naomi and Sonya storyline. It's gone on for too long. It needs to end. See, I'm yawning. I'm that tired of it. I can't even talk about it. I'm that tired of it. I'm yawning just thinking about how abysmal this is. Johnny Knoxville hits Sami Zayn with a cattle prod during Insane. If this doesn't end with Knoxville throwing his ass out of the ring in the Royal Rumble and then him screaming conspiracy and then maybe getting his hands on him, okay, why? Why are we doing this if not for that? I hope that's the direction it goes. I'm looking forward to seeing Jackass Forever. Those guys were all in attendance last night for the UFC fight, which last night's UFC, if anybody follows it, that was a badass night of fighting right there. It was great. Sheamus defeated Ricochet. Why are we doing this again? Here's that repetitive shit. It's not like you guys have got that small of a roster, even with all the releases. You could make one show. Look, yet again, I'm yawning. This shit was boring. I like Ricochet. I like Sheamus. I'm tired of seeing them work together. It didn't work. Now, on to the main event of Friday Night SmackDown. We had Seth freaking Rollins and Kevin Owens defeated the Usos by DQ. Roman Reigns comes out, Superman punch, and off to the races we go. Yeah, Ray Charles could have seen that coming, but at the same time, that sets you up for what you want to see. The payoff is coming this weekend. Is Kevin Owens going to get involved in the match? Is Kevin Owens going to be in the Royal Rumble? Dude, right now, I've got like one solid pick for the Rumble, and that is Liv Morgan wins the Women's Royal Rumble. I got no clue on the men's side. Nothing makes any sense for the men's side right now because I feel like we're going to one title. I feel like that's the direction we're heading. We're heading to where they bring it all back in one main title that's defended occasionally, but each independent show will have the mid-card title will be their main title. It's kind of like what they did back in the day when you watch Monday Night Raw or WWE Superstars. You saw the Intercontinental title get defended, and that was the big get. That was the big thing for you that you got was the IC title or the US title. I believe that's the direction it's going to go. That's the direction, if it was me, if I was holding the pencil, that's the direction it would go. Because I really do believe that two main champions doesn't make any sense when you already have you got two mains, two mids, two tags, two women's, and this floating bullshit 24/7 title. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. Oh, here we go. Here's a comment. It's crazy, Brian. WWE has 187 male wrestlers, and they repeat things over and over. Makes no sense at all. Harry, I 100% agree with you, man. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. The cool thing is we're still getting some fresh in there, but it's like they're sprinkling in repeats throughout, and it's going to happen. You're going to have rematches beyond all form of facets of everything. You're going to have rematches in pro wrestling, but at the same time, it doesn't need to be every week, and it doesn't need to be every show. There's no way that makes sense. It's like, let's say we got the Royal Rumble on Saturday. Well, the Royal Rumble's a piss poor example for this. Let's say you had Night of Champions or TLC or any of those other Judgment Day. It doesn't matter. Pick a show. One of the old school pay-per-views on a Sunday night. If the very next night you had a rematch of all the title matches, then what in the blue hell was the point of paying $60 for the pay-per-view for? You just insulted your fan base. You just made everybody who bought that pay-per-view say, well, I'm not doing that shit again. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. It kills me. AEW Rampage is where we're heading now. And this is the final show that I cover this week. Yeah, John Moxley versus All Ego Ethan Page with Scorpio Sky. Of course, Mox defeated All Ego Ethan Page. I really expected it to be more competitive. I'm going to leave it at that. I expected it to be more competitive because Mox had been gone for a while and Ego's been there. So you see what I mean? The build for this was a quick trash talk turnaround match. It fits. It works. It was a good return match for Mox. But they should have had it look like he had a little bit of rust to knock off. Just the way I see things. They should have made it look a little bit different. But either way, good match, good time. Trent Beretta with freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, Chris Stratlander, and Wheeler Yuta versus the Young Bucks, Nick Jackson with Matt Jackson and Associate Stooge Brandon Cutler. Are you really sending out all these people to be around the ring every time because you have no other way to get them on television than to have them be valets? What in the blue hell is AEW thinking when they do this? Because they do it all the time. All the time they do this. And it irritates the shit out of me. So you had Trent roll up Matt Jackson or Nick Jackson. I'm sorry, Nick Jackson. The roll up works because he's being out wrestled by a younger talent. Trent Beretta is a great wrestler. We're not going to take anything away from him. We're not going to take anything away from the Jacksons. I'm not a big Young Bucks fan, but that doesn't mean that, they aren't talented and they don't do good work. You've got to be able to just, differentiate A from B. It's just how things go. But I didn't see the point in having all the extra bodies out there other than giving them TV time. Hook versus Serpentico, and Hook made him tap out. Look, the kid's money, I really think that the kid's going to go places. I don't see him being a world champion until he doubles his size roughly. But as far as being a talented wrestler, yeah, he's a hell of a hand for as young as he is and as new as he is. I'm hoping that they really figure out which direction they want to go. And speaking of, here's this comment here. I'm not the only person who sees this. AEW has no idea what direction to take. It's sad to see, for real. Man, Harry, man, I agree with you. I really wish that they would lock in a better concept and a better idea of what they want to do, because this, I'm lost and confused every week. Kills me. It it's almost like they don't know how to book their show and use everybody. They have so many people that they don't need to bring in. No offense to Chase Emery or my friends over there at the International Superstars. No offense to none of them. They've got so many people on the goddamn roster that they don't need to bring in independents for their dark shows. They got enough characters that don't get used on TV now that they could burn all of them on Impact or on AEW Dark and Dark Elevation and hell, feed somebody on Rampage, feed a couple matches on Dynamite. Everybody acts like the WWE roster's bloated. Yeah. Don't forget AEW. Their shit ain't weak neither. The rosters are all huge. They've got rotating talent so that people get breaks and people can take breaks and people stay fresh. It makes sense. But if you're trying to keep them fresh and you're trying to keep them popular, you don't need to pop them on TV every week in person. They make vignettes for that. That makes sense. You can record a month's worth of promos backstage. You have them walk off screen, change their shirt, and put another one on. Oh, hell, it's a different show. Oh, take Chris's jacket and put it on Orange, and Orange's jacket and put it on Chris. Yup, there you go. That's your next week's outfit. It's the shit's chestnut checkers. It ain't rocket science. Get your production up and figure out what the hell you're going to do with everybody. So, the main event of AEW Rampage was Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling versus Dark Order's Anna Jay with John Silver. Now, they had a couple of funny different spots in here where they had like John Silver flexing and going, trying to outflex Jade Cargill. Dude, it was funny how it worked. It was funny how it played out. It fit. I got no problem with it. The Dark Order seemed like a good time faction. So it's great to see that. Anna Jay is an awesome competitor. I don't know who's going to take the strap off of Jade or how they're going to book that because they're booking themselves into a corner with her. But we'll see how it pans out and plays out. Here we go with somebody dropping an opinion in here. It's true they're wasting their own talent. It's a smack in the face to the ones they're not using. Right. And then, come to find out, we're hearing that AEW right now has a lot of people that they are going to be releasing or not renewing their contract. So let me get this straight. Releasing somebody for a budget cut is bad, but not re-signing somebody because you don't know how to use them is okay. Wait, what? They're the same damn thing. Who gives a shit if they say budget cuts are the reason when they made more money than they've ever made? That's business jargon for I can do what I want to. It's my company. They don't need to cut the budget. They can do what they want. But why are you going to sit there and have people say, oh, they're not using them right. They should just release them, or they should grant their releases, or they should do this. There's probably a hell of a reason that none of us are in the wrestling industry that deep because we don't know all the ins and outs of that shit. There's backstage politics and a lot of other things that go into this. I'm hopeful that AEW keeps doing what it's doing and creates a good amount of competition for the WWE. Because Eric Bischoff taught us, ladies and gentlemen, that controversy creates cash. Money industry. Let's keep this industry growing. You're not going to do it if it's just to eat. If you look back at pro wrestling, man, and you go back even as we'll go back to 98, 99, the Attitude Era. Man, the ratings have never been higher than they were during the Attitude Era. They never will be that high again. That is a twofold point, and I will get to the secondary point of it in a moment. Number one, there's plain and simple just not as many people watching TV as there used to be. The stadiums are still selling a hell of an amount of tickets. I'm not going to say the shows are sold out because we all know better. We see the images come across the internet where it shows you've got this arena half empty, that arena half empty. It doesn't matter, both companies. Neither company is selling shit out these days. When it's a sellout, they need to make that a big time statement on there saying the show is sold out, and there are this many fans in attendance, and we hope you're as excited to see the show as they are to be here. That's how you sell that. The second issue is, and this has been kind of a big point about ratings with me the last number of years. Nielsen handles the ratings. Nielsen, one company. I think that's kind of crap. I don't believe that they have the ability to see every cable box. I know that for a fact because I've installed enough cable boxes in my life and time. And in damn near 20 years of doing it, I've seen one that had the Nielsen thing on it. One. In 20 years. One box. It was a DVR. I could damn near take you to the house now. I really don't remember, but I know it's over somewhere, Union, Buffalo, out that way. It was over in that section of South Carolina where I saw that box. I've been into thousands of homes in a year. I've been into probably tens of thousands of places working on this shit. I've seen one box. That doesn't make sense when you look at the ratings that they drop every week. Then this demographic shit. How are they proving how old somebody is? Are they using the census versus the house and how many TVs are in the house? But what about streaming apps? Because right here on my cell phone, man, I can pull up my cable provider and watch my shit here. Is it being documented from my cell phone? What about the assholes that are stealing the shit online? What about the people catching it on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, this one, that one? There's no way, none, that they have access to Hulu and they're seeing all of who's streaming it on Hulu. There's no way they're watching it. And what are they going to do? Are they going to sit there and watch the average number fluctuate on Twitch and compare and contrast? It's not going to happen. There's no company out there that has reason to believe. So therefore, when everybody talks about the ratings, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I don't think any of it's real. The ratings war, to me, was the most invalid argument amongst invalids that there was. Yeah, I got in on it. Yeah, I threw a comment here or there. Reality is, if you like it, watch it. But if you want to know how to really feel about it, take a lesson from old Kid Rock. Kid Rock said, if it's marketed right, you'll buy it. If it's played loud enough, you'll hear it. But if it's real, you'll feel it. That's the thing, man. When y'all watch these shows, do you feel them? Do you get emotionally invested in the show anymore? I know there's these moments where I feel like, oh shit, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you just gravitate towards the screen and you can feel it. You can feel it raising you up out of your chair and it's got you. That's where the magic is. That's where the moments that make the difference are. There's so many different pieces of the puzzle. There's so many different things to take into consideration, take into account. Why are we focused on just the ratings? I could care less about Chris Jericho being called the demo god because he's like leading the demographic. Dude, you're a rock star. If you weren't leading the demographic, You're the biggest draw of the company. The biggest draw in AEW is Chris Jericho. Still to this day, I think Chris Jericho draws more money than anybody else in AEW. Because he's got the most clout. He's got the most history. He's got the most lineage in professional wrestling. CM Punk is huge. Daniel Bryan is huge. Kenny Omega is pretty big. Your main champion's not that big of a draw. Cody Rhodes, to me, has more clout than Adam Page. But, I'm one person with one opinion. If you guys got anything to add to it, please lay it on me. Because there is no way, shape, or form that I can be convinced that Hangman Adam Page is the reason AEW is selling tickets. He's one of many reasons to attend and watch a show. Sure, no problem. Buy that entirely. He's not the main reason people are buying a ticket. That's the problem. Roman Reigns is the reason people are buying a ticket to see SmackDown. Brock Lesnar is the reason people are buying a ticket to go see Monday Night Raw. NXT is kind of its own little bag of tricks here. It's a small studio show. But in my book, I got no objections to going down to Tampa and paying my or Orlando, Tampa, wherever it is. I got no problem with going there, buying a ticket, and paying my way in to see it because I know what I'm getting. I'm not dropping $1,000 for 4 tickets to go to the show. I know I'm getting a high-end produced independent wrestling show, young talent, young stars, growing business. It makes perfect sense and it works. It fits the bill for me. But if AEW is coming down I-85 and I see the tractor trailer, I'm not going to be all, oh shit, look who's coming. Because your biggest draw isn't in the ring every week. Your biggest draw is not featured on TV every week. What I said it to Harry. I said it on the Peaches and Power Bombs podcast as well. And I have no problem elaborating on what I mean with this. Chris Jericho is going to take the world title back. They're going to rise up in the ratings a little bit more again. They're going to rise up in the attendance a little bit more again. And Eddie Kingston's going to take the world title from Chris Jericho. That's just where I see it going. That's just where I see it going, ladies and gentlemen. And if anybody's got comments or anything to add, please chime in. Chime in. Page is not a world champion. To me, he should be 7th option in the AEW if Omega and Miro was still active. Page is barely the top 15 wrestlers in the country. Top 15's giving him some credit there, man. I mean, damn. In the country? That's a hell of a point. That is a hell of a point, but I don't know. I don't know where I'd put him, man. Trying to break down that many people in between both companies. We're talking about AEW, WWE, and that's not to even include, NWA, Ring of Honor, Impact, because NWA, Ring of Honor, and Impact have got some great hands in there as well. Harry now says I'm giving him more credit than he deserves. Hey man, well, he's the champ for right now. He's the man at AEW. But is the man of AEW doing anything for AEW? That's kind of my thought. That's kind of my point. Is he doing anything for the ratings? Is he doing anything for ticket sales? Or is it just fan service? Is that what this is? if you're doing everything for the fans, it's great. But you're not going to make any money, and you're not going to be able to do it for the fans for long because you're not going to be in business. You can't run in the red forever. That's not how things work. That's not how things work in professional wrestling, unfortunately. It doesn't go that way. Time and time again, we've had this conversation of, well, it's entertainment. Yeah. But if the Avengers was boring, you wouldn't have paid to see 4 or 5 different movies. If Spider-Man, No Way Home wasn't as billed as it was for being so great, a lot of people wouldn't have gone back to watch 34 other movies from 5 different franchises to figure out what the hell is going on. But people do. Are people doing that with Paige? Will we be more inclined to see Adam Cole in that role? I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I'm hoping something comes up, man. I'm hoping it goes a different direction. I'm hoping for a lot of improvement here because AEW has the talent on the roster. AEW's got the talent on the roster. They've got TNT, TBS, they've got Warner Media behind them. But what are they getting out of it? What are I don't know, man. I don't know if they're doing everything they can do or not. They trying to make him something he's not. He'll never get there. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Man, I don't know. It's possible. Anything's possible in this crazy ass industry that that we love. Anything is possible. Well, folks, we have reached the end of the show. There wasn't next week is going to be drawn out to hell because we've got Monday Night Raw, Tuesday night NXT, Wednesday night AEW Dynamite. We've got Thursday night with Impact, NXT UK, and I might try to catch MLW in there somewhere. You've got main event, you've got Dark Evolution. We've got Friday night SmackDown, we've got Friday night Rampage for AEW. We've got Saturday being the Royal Rumble match pay-per-view. Can't wait for the Royal Rumble. I'm really excited to sit back. I got to figure out what I'm going to eat. I normally make a nice dinner for the pay-per-view and sit back and enjoy the whole show and just kind of chill and absorb. Because the WWE does production better than anybody else in professional wrestling. Their pay-per-views are always just above reproach. And I love how I take that back. It's no longer a pay-per-view. It's now a premium live experience. I can't wait for the Saudi Arabia show because it looks like we're going to be getting the Elimination Chamber at the Saudi shows, which, yet again, this works out. They're giving us a little bit more for their show. They're giving them more for their shows, as well as giving us more at their show. It's a win-win situation. Instead of having a pay-per-view where you won't expect anything to happen, you change it to be a pay-per-view that's held there where, holy shit, this could be something intense. This could be out there, and it could deliver just a lot of things. But at any rate, folks, I got nothing further. We blew right through the weekly recap, which I kind of wanted to get that out of the way because I like having a lot of people interact, and I like to put people up, and I love having guys on interview. Now, next week at this time, I have a person who's talking. We're having a conversation. They're supposed to be coming on. They want to send me a match and jump on the show and talk about this match. If that's what seems to be happening next week, I am all about it. I'd love to get in here. We're going to figure out how we're going to make this happen and make this a thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. I am the Saint from TRWC. My name is Ron. You can find me hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit that share button, hit the notification bell. Whenever I'm on, you are welcome to be here, welcome to join me, and welcome to chime in. I love having fans chat in and talk and, tell me how wrong I am or how much of a prick I am. Great. Do it. Send it. I love it all. So thank you very much for being here, folks, and I hope you have a good evening. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, let's go. I'm ready, I'ma blow. Yeah.